Hey world, this is Real Fit Radio with B and
J.L.O.U.
if this is your first time joining us, welcome. And for those returning listeners, welcome back.
Hmm.
We had a couple of technical difficulties.
We doing a record or re-record. Um, Miss B was thinking she was recording, but didn't have the recording going on, so she talked about 5 minutes with nothing going on. So this is a retake.
And we have a dog. It's really late. It's after 10 o'clock, and he's usually really quiet, but our next door neighbor's dog, he's an outside dog. I don't know what's going on out there, but you might hear him throughout this. Hopefully, you won't hear him throughout this whole segment, but if you do, we got to get this done. So it is what it is. It's not a setback. We'll figure it out. We'll work around it. But we decided that we would drop an episode every Monday. So if you haven't listened to last week's episode, you can listen to that one. But this is our second one since we've been back. And so it's been a week. And I want to check in before we jump into, or dive into talking. How you been, Lou? How was your week?
My week has been very productive. Again, like I said, I got to get a really good rest the first week, coming into the second one pretty fresh, idealistic, ready to lend a helping hand to anybody that needed assistance in whatever they was doing. I got to get a very good workout in. 5 days straight, not really 5 days straight, but at least 5 days out of the week, which is unheard of for me. But I'm trying to get back into the mode of consistency because that's key. It's been, like I said, it's been pretty good. I can't complain. I did make the reference to the 101 on the first take, but it had to get deleted. But like I said, if you guys are trying to get from point A to point B in LA, that's the silver lining right now. Like, that thing is an open raceway. So if you want to get out there and get to where you need to get to, this is the time to do it for real. But like I said, all things being equal, I had a pretty good week. I can't complain. What about you? You spill the beans. How your week went?
Mm.
Where your sorry husband at?
You guys have to excuse me. We watch way too many. We go down the rabbit hole with the little kids saying crazy stuff. And he's such a goofball. I think normally it's just it's just a week. We just kind of were rushing through, but with everything going on, we had to slow it down. It's not such a hustle and bustle. I had a pretty good week. Perspective wise, it's the little things I'm starting to appreciate. I had to take my toenail polish off today. I'm missing going to get my pedicure, so yeah, I had to go ahead and break out the nail polish remover. It was sad for me. I can't believe it, because that's one I love. Oh my gosh, I love going to get my feet done, and I have to make some adjustments, so I did that. But other than that, just waking up and winning the day. That's the mindset that I've always had, but even more so because things have changed and we've had to make some adjustments. And I think it was an update now. I think everybody is listening for updates. I never really watched the news and stuff before, but I think it was announced that now the social distancing they were hoping for it to stop, or the gyms were open back up on April 1st, and then it was like maybe somebody made mention of the 13th, but it was confirmed that it will now be extended to the 30th of April. So again, I think every day is different. It shouldn't be, but everything, it's like you're like waking up and you're just like, okay, what's going on, what's changed, is stuff opening back up, or how much longer are we gonna have to do this. But for the most part, I'm grateful. I woke up every day with all my senses and in good health, and I was able to get some things done, even the small things. If it was just preparing a meal and interacting with the kiddos and executing, implementing stuff like that, you know, I don't have no complaints.
Okay, ain't nobody gonna want him. So yeah, ain't nobody gonna tell you, oh, it's gonna get better. They'll tell you, oh, that is what they'll tell you, oh, it's gonna get better. But they really ain't trying to hear it. So yeah, best thing is to do is what you just said. Look for the audible play, which you always do. You're very good at. So no harm, no foul. I know you all feeling pretty bummed about that, Jim. You had a great routine going, going into week number 2, heading into the stretch of week number 3. You know they say it's 20 days before you create something and turn it into a habit. And damn, if my name is what it is, they stopped her cold in her tracks on like day 10. So, oh, I'm sorry, something got caught in my trachea.
Talking about my gym routine.
Oh well, I'm trying. Look, I was on top of you. No,
You gotta start making these references. They don't know what you're talking about. These are all inside jokes. He's a bit beside himself. These are kids that we watch do crazy stuff on YouTube. And he just this is just stuff I'll be over here cracking up, and the listeners are gonna. What is he talking about? Don't leave them out the loop like that.
well,
Don't even explain it. You stop doing that, okay? You on time out.
I can always put the excerpts or lead you in the right directions in the details of on the YouTube when I post it, and that way you know what I was talking about. You can go straight to the YouTube video. Nah, but she right. I ain't gonna do that too much.
But shoot us an email at realfitradio@gmail.com. You guys shoot us an email and let us know what are some of the little things or things that you thought were little but or big things that you missed that you're unable to do right now during this social distancing. We'd love to hear from you. We're all in this thing together. Again, mine was like a pedicure, which it's just routine. You're used to it. The gym, which I had so many hiccups of getting back over there, from it opening to it closing to the coronavirus. Then it was just shut down. It was one thing after another. So I'm missing the gym and my pedicure tech. Love her, been going to her for 10 years. So, shoot us some emails and let us know who you are, where you from, and what you're missing during this social distancing, thing we got going on here.
Absolutely. Yeah, anything. And we touch bases on it, or if you have a question about something, you want to send something in and want us to touch on the topic, feel free to do that as well. But yeah, all right. So now that we got the veggies out the way, we're going to jump on these meats and potatoes. So, as you know, this is for, let me start that over. As you know, Barry B is a creative consultant. And I think, I was thinking about this episode or whatnot, and I want to touch bases on something that I think, if you are in this particular, I guess, category or group, this one is definitely for you. But I was thinking about it because here's the thing. It's always somebody that's you got the creators, and then you got, I guess, what you call the talent, I guess. But I don't like to blur. I like to blur those lines because I think both people are talented. But I want to go into the thing of, so we talked. I'm trying to get my thoughts right because I'm rambling. So we talked last week about B being a creative consultant and what she does for a living, but I know there's some pros and cons to being the guy or the girl who creates the content or content, I should say, or create the ideas, and they're not necessarily the person with the skill set to see it through and get it done, but they're the idealist. They the one that kind of have the blueprint to make it work, but just don't know how to do it. So they send it to somebody else via, I guess you want, if you want to call them the talent or the skill set. They're the ones that know how to get it done. But what ends up happening is the person with the skill set ends up getting all the, the kudos for getting it done, and the person that created the idea sometimes is just kind of left in the wings, depending on how you view it. They may not get as much of the recognition, or sometimes they don't even get paid for their ideas. So um that's the main topic today, is the pros and cons of being this person who is an idealist, a creator, but not necessarily the person. I guess the best example I can give is you're the songwriter, but you're not the person who can sing or the person who can rap, but you're in the credits somewhere, but nobody acknowledges the person that's in the credits. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk or touch bases on to the people that's in this category, and I know she's gonna blow this thing away because she's very very descriptive and detailed. Um, B is one of those people. I always say, if you want to destroy a country, put her in a think tank box with everything she needs, from TV to different types of foods, and nothing but the information of who you want to figure out how to destroy, or give her an idea and tell her, I want to create this ABC, and give her all the ideas that you have in play, and let her poke holes in it, and I guarantee you will come out on the winning side. Her mind is very brilliant, and I always tell her that. So with that being said, let's just touch bases on that, and that's pretty much, like I said, the meat and potatoes of this podcast. So with that being said, what are some of the pros you'd say about being the creator, like, or being the person that can just come up with an idea off the wing, or see something and be like, hey, it would be so much better if they did XYZ, or just coming up with something from scratch? What is the pros about being that type of creator?
I think I think the pros of it, and I even wanted, when you were talking, just take it back even to, like, I don't even want to say the very basic part, because it's not basic, but this is happening on so many levels. I mean, we can call them creators, innovators, visionaries, but even on just we all are that in a different capacity, because there are companies um, that cannot sustain or be as big as they are without the support systems or the people inside, that the employees that make the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Right.
So those are creators too. They have the IT department, the I'm having a brain freeze here. Wow.
Well, while she
Well, no,
having,
well, not even that. This is so bad. The call centers. That's so bad. I just had the call centers, but um, customer service, marketing, all these intricate pieces are what create. You wouldn't have Apple without that. You wouldn't have um, T-Mobile. I'm just thinking, any company, anything that you use every day, there's someone in there that you see all the time that may not necessarily be the person that came up with the concept, the idea, that created the company, or had, said, oh, I want to do this. But in order to execute and do it, you needed all those people to bring it to fruition. So I think we are all that in a different capacity. When you get up and, punch the clock, or clock in at your 9 to 5 or wherever it is, when you're not there, or too many of you guys are not there, something stops, and that's how people get fired, or it's like, we need you here, because they do. So the pros of it are, we have all these amazing things that, I mean, I won't say we take for granted, but all these amazing things that we have access to based on people, you know, creating or being a part of making something happen. Um, and that's the pro to it. It's like, wow, you get to be a part of the process. You get to be a part of bringing this to fruition, actually seeing it, it's tangible now. We get to see it from the beginning stage and, where it was just an idea and now it's actually here. So, a pro to is being a part of that, the birthing process. That's what I call it. And also, another pro to it is the creative process that goes back and forth when you're figuring out the kinks of it and you're trying to get it to um, the best part, and then watching it, evolve to something even better um, later on. If the person that actually came up with it has got some new stuff going on, and hopefully I'm explaining this, right where where you understand. I see us all as creators in a different capacity, or we assist in doing that. Sometimes you're the support system, and sometimes you're the person that I always tell you that has the idea, but you can't develop the app. I thought about the app, but I can't develop it, so I go to an app developer. But I am the person that came up with the idea.
Right. Well, I get what you're saying. Maybe I need to, because that's not quite what I'm saying. Because I do understand that you need all the working pieces and cogs and stuff. And no disrespect to anybody when I say cogs and pieces,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody plays a part in it. What I'm saying is, not, I guess the best example I can give, and maybe he's the worst too at the same time because he did get recognized. But like case in point, Steve Jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apple was about to fall on its butt, you know what I'm saying, before, he came up with the Nano, the
Mm-hmm.
iPod Nano,
Mm-hmm.
because the Macintosh, man, you had, what was it, Dell and all these other computers and stuff
Mm-hmm.
that was coming into play that was kicking Macintosh's ass. So what I'm saying is when he's the innovator and the person that came up that came up that came up with all these ideas and stuff, like I said, from the iPhone and from the Nano and all that stuff, FaceTime technology and all of that, and that's what I'm referring to. Like, this guy came up with that, and now, rest in peace to him. I mean, when the last time you seen a real innovative idea that came from Apple? I mean, Apple just keeps bringing out the same product over and over again. And this is just my opinion. I'll take full responsibility for my own opinion. But I'm not the only person that feel like Apple keep bringing out the same type of phone. Like, there is nothing really new about it. It's just, oh, now the whole phone is made of glass. Like, that's not real innovative. They just making it more shiny, and that's it. But it's not necessarily anything innovative about the product. And that's what I'm saying that you are. You are a person that comes up with innovative ideals, even though you need other people to develop them. And what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people out there like that, I
Mm-hmm.
believe, that has ideals, and they ship them off to people, hoping in good faith that they will be recognized of some sort. Because you guys are kind of different. Y'all don't necessarily deem the limelight like somebody. Like, case in point, I am an artist and performing artist, so I want credit for what I'm doing, and I do get a little glimpse, and I love it when people say, "Oh man, your music is dope," because now they're talking to me. What I'm saying is, for you and other people that's like you, that's very innovative and have all these multi-million-dollar ideas, a lot of times when y'all share your ideas, one or two things happen. Either, like I said, either you don't get any credit for it or recognition, or you don't get any credit or recognition and you don't get paid for it, but your idea get out there. Like, I've seen several ideas you came up with since I met you, and you sent them to me through Instagram. Who came up with them? And me and you both seen. I remember, I think it was E.T. that said it. It's like, if you wait too long, somebody gonna do it first.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying. So I'm saying that to say, like, that's what I mean by innovative person, because you got skilled talented people that, like I said, you got the athletes who put the ball in the basket in basketball, or can put the ball in the end zone as a football player. But that innovative person that's not the head coach, that comes up with these crazy plays, that works on the field, like, they don't get the credit for the victory.
Mm-hmm.
The head coach and the quarterback most of the time get the credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that offensive coordinator that came up with the scheme. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and they don't never get seen. So what I'm saying is, that's who you are. That's who you and your peer group is or are. I don't know how to say that, but I ain't in English class right now. But that's what I'm saying. So what's the pros of being that type of person, being that innovative person that comes up with those ideas? We understand the cogs that make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the pro about being that type of thinker? Because it seemed like you would never run out of any ideas no time soon. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the pro to it, and this is something, it's a very underrated. Um,
Sometimes you don't even think it's a gift.
Yeah, and it's it's a very underrated skill set to have, and I say that, and I'm learning that myself. But underrated in the sense, not that you want recognition. I think the biggest pro to it to me is actually, I tell you this all the time, and sometimes I think, you laugh at me, but maybe someone can relate. It's nothing like seeing what you work with someone, you assist someone, bring something to fruition, or you have an idea and you connect with others to bring it out. Most of the time, the type of creative being I am, I love leaving a catalyst, a stepping stone for other people to be better. And I say this, you'll hear it from me all the time because it's a part of me. So the pro to it is like, it happened, it's done, we did it, let's do it. So when you're hearing someone, I mean, I've heard conversations, or I'll see stuff, and I'll say, "Ooh, that would, if they." The one that I sent you like about a week ago. Remember we talked about this a couple of years ago. It was so simple. So
I know what you're talking about.
There were for us ladies out there, and I have an 18-year-old daughter. The pads, maxi pads, just pads with the wings. I kept looking at the wings, and I just was like, this doesn't make any sense how it lines up on, the panties. And I was telling my daughter, I said they need something where it's like kind of perforated, or it tears and it fits. It needs to be contoured or redesigned so it fits, your underwear, your panties correctly. And I kept talking about this, and like about a week or two ago, it's a company that I saw an ad for it, and then I saw an ad again, and I'm like, let me click this. And they redesigned where it is a more comforting fit, more comfortable fit. It the wings are designed to fit the panties so it doesn't slip, and all the different little things. And I sent it to you and to Jair, and it was just like, oh, you thought about that. So I think the pro to me, I'm not angry that it's out there and I didn't do it because I don't want the recognition. I get excited that it happened because
you was on the right track.
Yeah, and it takes it, and now it's something out there that's better. Like it's better, or it can help, or it's more efficient. I love that type of stuff. I love when it's like, oh, we had that, but look at this, So, and again, it can, like you said, give it to her and she'll poke holes in it. I'm not poking holes in it. I just look at things in a different way, or even if it's on the ground floor where it's just like, I want to do, I want to figure out how I could, have these shoes and they're not dirty. I'm just trying to make something up. I'll start messing with that, and I might come up with one thing, and then it's like, that's great, but it's like, what? It could be even better if we do it this way. So I love the process. That's the pro for me. I love the process, and I love the end game. It's like, yes, it's a win because we did it. And my down, like, you don't even have to ask what the con is. The con is when it doesn't happen, when it's just like, it's almost like it's abandoned. Or
we can roll into the cons.
Yeah, I'm more, for me and for anybody that can relate, I'm more passionate about it happening, and sometimes I'm more passionate than the person, because some people come up with stuff, and again, if it's not going to yield the type of money they want immediately, or it seems like it's taking too long, it's just abandoned. It's like, oh, this is going to take too long. I don't have this time. I don't have that much time to put into this. Okay, well, this is going to be a long process, and I'm over here like, I can't believe this is a great idea. You know, why wouldn't you see it through? You can have a couple of irons in the fire, but in the meantime, we can work on this, and it is a process. This is not going to be something that happens overnight. So again, when I say, and I don't know if underrated was the right word for it, but it's a selfless skill set. What I love doing is connected to people. It's connected to ideas I may have based on something I see them doing, or it's like, why are you doing that when you could be doing this? You could, if you did it this way. Yeah, and it's so it's so weird, but that's been something that I've done for a long time. Even when you came with this topic, this was like a change of topics earlier today, because he had one, but we switched back and forth. You want it, I'll have to come up with something next week, but I kind of feel not weird about it, because it's kind of, again, if it's other creatives out there or someone that creates in this capacity, it's just something where it's almost like a person that, when you watch a movie, you see the actors, you see the whole movie, you see everything, but there's someone behind there. There's the person that wrote the story. There's somebody that came up with the story. There's someone that, wrote it. Maybe it's, 50 pages, and there's someone that converted the story into a script, and then the script got to someone that was a director, and then producers came in, and they consulted with the person that actually came up with it, and it's like, no, that's not how I saw it. And then in the end, you have this movie that we go and see, but there's this person at the very you may never know who that person is. I think that, and I don't even know if their names are in the credits. You usually see the director and the producers, executive producers. You don't see sometimes the person that may have even sold the story, because they just wanted to get it out there. It's like, I'll sell this to Bloomhouse or whatever, Sony or whom, Paramount. I'll sell it to you, and whatever actors you get, whatever, I just want to see this. I have to tell this story. You may never know who that person is, but the joy that they have is not so much in them being compensated for, but the fact that their story is out there. I'm sure inventors feel that way too, when it's like, I want, something as simple as the eraser, the sharpener, the escalator, whatever it is. It's like, I want this to be out there because it's going to change something or assist in some way or help, whatever it is. So, I mean, I know you said that you felt like, there may be somebody else that needs to hear it. And if it is somebody out there like that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The beauty in this, the pro in it, the joy you get, is just seeing it done.
Well, also, because I know you missing another con right there. One, I know you touch bases on, like you said, is obviously because your skill set is it almost seems like it's always attached to someone else, because if they don't see it through, then that idea never hits the surface, which means it dies on the floor, or under the water, or however you want to say it, since I said it ain't reached the surface. What I'm saying, the other one I think you should touch bases on, I know, because we do it I mean, not all the time, but I know there's times where you see something that I could probably do better, or maybe a video idea or whatnot. I know another thing that really chaps your hide, and maybe some other people that's in this, like I said, that's in this group, is when you come up with an idea and somebody shoots it down before it actually is even explained, or even if you tried. Like, I am guilty of doing that, because I am, based on a sign and everything about myself, I am very logical. A plus B equals C, or A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's my mindset. And if it's anything outside of that, and that's not all the time, but it's on certain instances, like, it has to make sense to me, and I do understand. And I'm a very open person, and so I understand that everything won't line up strategically like that. It's like having a plan. And I don't know how the hell I played football and I understand that you can have a play, run up to the line of scrimmage, and get ready to run that damn play, and the defense is in a whole different set than what that play is going to allot. You came in thinking that that was going to work, and you know for sure if you run this play, you're going to lose yardage. So what do you do at the line? You call an audible to a play that's going to work. And that's how I see now trying to be more open. That's how I see our connection when you're trying to give me these ideas that may not make sense to me, but if I look at it in a sports context, it makes more sense to me. So I'll come in with an idea, she'll come in with an idea, and it'll combat the play that I'm running. And I'll be like, dude, that don't make sense. Why would you do it like that? Because statistics show, like sometimes I will say statistics show, or I ain't never seen it done like XYZ. And I know in the heart of hearts, that's the wrong idea to have, because people who created things that anybody, that no one's ever seen before, it would never have worked if they didn't continue to try and they had that mindset. So like I said, I'm open to growing. And that's only on certain things. It's not on everything, but it was certain things that I know, like I said, we've, had our little heated debates about what makes sense and what we should try because it's a good idea. So I know. So how does that, how does that work for you guys when you come in with this nifty idea and it's like, I just want to see if it works, and if it don't, it don't. Like, we'll just go back to the drawing board. But you get hit upside the head in a sense where you're fighting. Does that make it easier or harder for you to keep coming with these ideas? Like I said, how does that work?
Well, when it's family or people that are closer to you, it's always going to be harder because you take it personal, But I think that I've prepared myself to, and this, again, if someone else can relate, to be met with opposition sometimes, because I find that it's not the idea itself, it's getting someone out of the comfort zone of what they are familiar with. It's like, why are you changing something that already works? This already works. Why are you messing with it? Why are you coming in messing with what already, it's a fine-tuned machine. It's like you're poking at someone's baby, so to speak. Or if we've worked together, I've had consultations where we went through the process, we came up with it, and it's like done. And a couple of months can go by, and I'll shoot an email or have a thought, and it's like, hey, I have an idea in regards, I know that's working, but maybe you should, think about, because I see this happening down the line. It may not be, right away. You probably got a couple of years, but if you implement this now, and it's like, why are we talking about a couple of years from now? Why are we doing that? And I think you said this to me. There are people that forecast. I'm learning that I'm very proactive, not reactive, and I've come up against, and it's not a bad thing. There are more. I'm outnumbered, or we, other people that are like this, are outnumbered by a reactive mindset, because it's like, we'll cross that road when we get there. Why are we dealing with this? Why are you over there? Why are you talking about something that you're projecting or anticipating happening in a couple of years? Why are you messing with that? And you're met with opposition, because it's almost like, I think, again, it's when you have this type of your mind is like this, and again, that's just been a process, a journey for me, just learning. It's like, I'm almost prepared to be met with some type of opposition. Some is not as much as others, but it's not always well received. Initially, it'll be like, oh yeah, that's we definitely can look into that. We can definitely look into that. And it's just like, in your mind, you're like, what are we looking into? Like, this is something, if you just tweak this now or start working on this now, you're going to be ahead of the curve. You'll be ready, because this is going to happen. So, it's just a part of it. It's a part of, I don't even want to say the grind, but it comes with the territory, and it's not, the process is not always pretty. It's just, I had this with Jair the other day. I came in and was talking to her about some of the iron she has in the fire, and I had some suggestions, and she, kind of ran down some analytics and some stuff to me and the numbers and, based on what's trending and this. I mean, she's got all her stuff. I mean, valid points. But I was forecasting and, family, it was just like, I take it personal because it's like, come on, like this is what I do. And it's like bumping heads with her and this is what I do. And why am I working on that? And not so much, it wasn't said that way. It was just kind of understood. And then she sent me like this, this message the other day, and it said, great ideas often receive violent opposition from mediocre minds. And she started laughing. She said, when you try to tell me your idea. And it was kind of like she was poking fun at herself. I don't even want to say it's a mediocre mindset. We just have to remember that some people, it's not about thinking outside the box. They think as if there is no box. I don't think like based on facts and gathered information. I just think like, I want to get this done. It can be done. How can I do it? But you can't do it. Yes, it can be done. And I'll keep poking at it and trying to figure it out and poking at it. And I think if you don't have people in the world like that, a lot of things, I mean, the thing, like I said, things we use every day, airplanes, the mail, a cell phone, a telephone. I'm sure the people that came up with these ideas, it's like, we already have the horses deliver the mail. I mean, what are you talking about? We could do this more efficiently, but why? What are you talking about? What if we had something in the house that you could call and I don't even know if they'd say call, but you could communicate with someone else anywhere in the world.
And they ain't even in the room.
And they're anywhere. There's got to be a way. I mean, can you imagine being that person? I think that's the huge concept.
Yeah, I told you out your damn mind.
Yeah, it's like, or Benjamin Franklin. I'm going to go out. I'm going to fly this kite in and out. And when lightning hits it, what? Oh, no. Okay, so it's going to carry people. It looks like a bird, but you're going to be able to fit people in it and fuel it, and it's going to be able to take you to a whole nother side of the world. Yeah. What's it made of? We're going to start out with wood. Yeah, not doing that. You're tripping. We got trains. We have horses. So being that person, you definitely have to be strong. You definitely have to, learn not to take it personal, because people are just being who they are, and you're being who you are, and all you can do is ask on a daily to have a renewing of your mind and to be connected with individuals who support, progress and who are open to, let's do it. Okay, I want to do it. Those are the gems in this. There are people, far and few, that you'll come across that are like, okay, let's work on this, or let's do it. I want the best version of this. I know this is good, but it can be better. Okay, well, let's put this out now, and we can, be working on the better version of this behind the scenes, and we'll unveil, or it'll be released in 2 or 3 years, and they're okay with that. But those are people with a different mindset, and again, it doesn't make anybody better than, or I wouldn't even say mediocre. I mean, again, she was kind of just poking fun at herself, and that was her way of being like, I shouldn't have shot it down. But you just got to kind of accept what it is, and again, just be strengthened in those areas to not take it personal, and be grateful when you come across those rare finds that are like, let's do it. What do you need? Oh, you see it like that? Okay, I'm cool with so we can have this out right now, and we can work on this over here, because it's so refreshing, and it's just a great feeling, because most creators, most people, the joy you get in is just getting it out there, seeing it like, wow, it's here, it's done. And then, you move on to the next thing and the next thing. And that's how my mind works. And again, I hope other people that have this skill set, they, you can relate, what this is. That's how your mind works. They make fun of them in movies and stuff where you see the crazy person in the lab and it's like, oh, I've got it, and it's like, oh man, he's or she's over, but that's just that's how my mind works. I mean, I love the process. I freaking love it, and I'm always wanting to bump elbows with individuals that are ready to go through the birthing process, and they protect that baby and grow it. You wouldn't, and I look at it this way: when you're giving birth to a child physically, no one else sees that baby. You feel it, and you feel it kicking, and it's growing, and your body's changing, and even before the physical stuff happens, you feel changes in your body, and then your stomach starts to grow, and there are things that happen where people can kind of see it. And then some people, you're having a baby, and then there's the stage where it's like, okay, the baby's coming, but there's some people that even still aren't on board fully because they haven't held the baby, but physically things are happening. You get in the hospital, and you go into labor, and that baby's there. Now that the baby's there, and think about this: when you connect with the creative, you don't just give the baby the bare minimum. You don't just clothe it and, I clothe it, I feed you, I educated you. You give it the very best. You equipped that child. If you get some new information that can assist them in a better way, you're going to give it to them. If you can find a shorter route, if you want them to go to the best college, whatever it is, you're being proactive. You want to equip your child with the very best. It's not, why would we do that? You ride a bike. Why would I get you a car? You're going to get them a car. Well, I mean, you could drive a car. Well, now I can put you on a plane. Think of that, if you will, when you connect with other creatives that are coming in and saying, I know that works, but guess what? We can do it this way. Or, I have an idea. We can give birth to this passion or purpose that you have. Let's do ABC. Be less oppositional and more open, because you do that for your child or a loved one. You want to see them in the best position possible. You want to see them thriving, in such a way. And if you got more information, you're going to give them more, because you just, if that makes sense. And that's how I see passion and purpose and creating. I'm going to always look, and it's like, check in. Okay, that's the most efficient way. That's the best way. Okay, that's cool. But if I see something, if I come up with something, I'm that person. I'm going to come in and do that. So I got lost over here.
Yeah, you was in the sauce.
Yeah.
I had to let you go though.
Well, you knew this was this topic itself.
I don't mind. That's why I came
when
up
you
with
said
it.
This topic, I just was kind of like, because I don't ever want it to just be, I know you don't make it that way, but about me. My goal is for, so I hope that there's some people out there that can relate to this, and it's like, because
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I came up with the topic is because I think it's an important thing for people to understand that it's people that have a really great skill set, and it's not always something that's visible. My skill set is not necessarily visible, but you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? And you can hear it, and you can hit and let me know, man, that song you made was off the damn chain. Like, I really resonate with it. Jair is an influencer and things like that. She can take a bomb picture, come up with a bomb topic, and they'll be on YouTube, and they'll see her. They will hear her, and they'll be like, man, that was some amazing content. Same thing with Josiah with the acting. They'll see him on the big screen, stuff like that, and they'll be like, man, you did a great job portraying that character. You guys don't have that skill set. Not necessarily don't have a skill set. You guys, what you pride yourself on doing, it doesn't have a room for somebody to say, man, that was really a great thing. Like somebody will tell you behind closed doors is, man, that was a great idea. Case in point, and I guess we'll wrap it up. While you was talking, the movie that came to my mind about somebody just wanting to see something be better was the movie when we saw Ferrari versus Ford with Ken Miles. That dude, like the way they portrayed him, if he was like that, he kind of seemed like a goober, but that dude loved him some cars, and he knew, he was playing Ken Miles, and Matt Damon was playing Shelby.
Well, he just wanted to just.
He just wanted, man, that dude just wanted to jump in the car. He didn't give a damn about the money. I mean, obviously he needed to provide for his family, but his man,
that's perfect.
That's a perfect example. His heart was like so into making that car the fastest it could be. He didn't care about anything else. He did care about winning, but goes back to what you said on the and I might be spoiling alert with you guys, but if whatever, it's been out a while. Y'all should have saw it. I'm saying this to say, and you can read up on it, and chances are I ain't spoiling them, because if you read the history, you know how it happened. They didn't want him to be the face of the winning. They won. They beat Ferrari that year. I can't remember what year it was, but they had been losing Ferrari year after year. And after he did all those modifications to that car and made it the best it could be and won, he was like light years lap wise for you racers out there. He had lapped people like 2 and 3 times. He had to slow down for his teammates to come through. And the main person who's the hater that was in there that we talk about that they didn't like the idea. They were shooting it down. They wanted, now that they saw that it was going to be a victory on the end, he wanted somebody else to be the face of it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying that's the position you guys hold a lot, because no one ever wants you to be the face of the victory. They just want the idea. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great movie, but you know what I take from that? He didn't even want to be the face.
No.
He wanted to experience the joy of driving the car that he helped create to go so fast. He wanted to race the car. And so that's a perfect example, because while one person might be perspective looking at it like, oh my gosh, if you win this race, if you actually modified this car and it does what you said it'll do, people are going to see it was you and not me. And his thing is like, I don't care. I just want to be a part of creating it and experiencing it, you know? So great. That was perfect.
Yeah, I've been holding it in the tuck.
And 9 times out of 10, for you people out there, because I don't even call them haters. Like I said, it's a mindset. I think that they just...
No, that dude was a hater in that movie.
Right. He was. But I mean, for people that you are creatives that may get that opposition from someone, or you're like, I don't understand why they wouldn't. It's just, I want to give the other people the try to help you change your perspective and mindset. It's not about us trying to modify it or be in the front of it. We want it to be the best version, and the experience itself, the process of being a part of that and bring it to fruition is so gratifying. I can't even think of a word for it. It's I mean, it's just amazing. It's what we get from it. You know, it's priceless. That's what I say. It's priceless. There's no amount of money that feeling you get when it's like, yes. And that movie, I'm glad you picked it, because Christian Bale conveyed it so well. You saw how excited he got.
Man, he loved it.
Take the engine out. Lose this, lose that. And he was just like, yes, so that's perfect. And that's exactly how I feel. That's the perfect wrap up, because yeah, that's what I get from it. Because you've always told me, man, it can pay you enough. And it's like, it's not even about the money. I can't believe she's not gonna do this. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And you're like, man, get your money and just be done with that. But it sits with me, as you were a recipient of it, much longer, because I'm just upset by it. It's hurt. It hurts, because it's like, I can't believe it.
And that, my friends, my creators, my idealists out there that creates from scratch, that's why I say get your coin, because I guarantee you don't feel that personal. You may feel personally burned on the inside. You know what I'm saying? If they don't do it, but I guarantee you it burns a lot more when somebody doesn't do the stuff or follow through and you ain't get paid for it. When you get paid for it, you be like, damn. Like, I'm not saying that you won't hurt. It's kind of like being an athlete who loses the Super Bowl and the NBA Finals. I'm not saying that them cats ain't hurt about losing. But I guarantee you they all right. They got a couple of $1 million they just made just for making the playoffs, a bonus or something like that. So what I'm saying to you guys who do this, who is the skill set, who is the person behind everything that works in a sense, with your brilliant minds out there, man, make sure you getting some type of payment from that. Like don't sell yourself short. Don't get hit with I don't like that idea and take all that opposition and don't get paid. Like don't damn. Like don't hurt yourself like that, man. I'm the finance guy, so I'ma always tell you look out for your business. I'm not saying screw nobody over, but you gotta look out for your income too. Don't just take those hits and not be compensated for it. Cause I guarantee you those lumps and bruises will feel a hell of a lot better with a couple of O's in your bank account.
It cushions the blow. It doesn't
All I
take it
got to
away.
say.
It cushions the blow.
It do. That's it.
Well, with that being said, I hope that again the whole purpose of Real Fit is to impact, inspire, and empower in some shape, form, or fashion. And I hope that we did that today. We reached somebody out there through any piece of this podcast. Whether it was the beginning with the check-in or just the topic itself. I hope that happened. That is the goal. That is what we're here for. As we mentioned earlier, feel free to shoot us a comment, via email. You can follow us on Instagram at Real Fit Radio. We are now on YouTube, Real Fit Radio. You can find the segments there on SoundCloud. But just whichever way you want to communicate with us, any ideas, concerns, things you'd like for us to talk about, or just, to open up a line of communication. It doesn't have to be something for this, it could just be something that we correspond via email. I love stuff like that. So, I look forward to that. Is there something that, because I know you were working on some ways of them hearing it. We were talking about that today. Because with YouTube, it may cut off.
Yeah. The thing that I was talking about earlier was basically, so I know we like to try to cover all the bases and whatnot, and so currently we are on SoundCloud as Real Fit Radio, and on YouTube as Real Fit Radio. Everything is uniform. But I will be looking, and so we'll be looking into like the I guess a podcast platform that everybody's familiar with, because we don't want to just get on anything just because it's like, I guess, something up and coming and new and it's not a fee behind it or something, and none of you guys know about it. So we need to find out which one that is pretty uniform. Case in point, like a Spotify or something that everybody knows, and that way you can be able to listen to it without having to visually see it. Because I know, of course, on YouTube, unless you got that Red Tube or whatever it's called, Red YouTube Premium, you can't close out and do other things unless you have that. So I know that can be inconveniencing to you guys, and if you don't have SoundCloud. But SoundCloud right now is the best bet for you guys, because you can, if you got that app, clearly you can just play it and go on about your daily lives without having it open. You can go take care of your business on your phone and do whatever you need to do without having that being your window, your open window. So yeah, we'll be both looking into that, trying to see what's a good podcast platform to get on. And if you guys know of any, feel free to shoot them in the comments, whether it's IG, email, or in the comments on YouTube or SoundCloud, because I'm open, because this is not my field in for as knowing where to go. But if you guys know of some, let us know, and I'll look into it and try to make sure it's there too. And that way you guys have another area where you can listen to this free of distraction. And when I mean distraction, meaning you can do whatever you need to do without having that particular window open. Like you could still take care of your business on your phone, because I know the phone is like a computer for everybody. So you can be listening as well as taking care of your business. So yeah, that was it.
And again, thank you for listening to Real Fit. Our goal is to inform, impact, inspire, and empower. And hopefully we've done that. And hopefully you do that sometime this week. We'll be dropping another segment on Monday. Looking forward to doing that, because I don't know what we're talking about, but it's going to be good.
Oh yeah, it ain't gonna be my topic. It's on her now. I did 2 dose. That's it. That's it, baby. Deuces.